Please raise your hands for questions. Coach?
Yeah, first off, I thought our guys played really well tonight. They looked confident and they were aggressive, and I thought Day and Jizzle really set a tone early in the game for that, making plays for themselves, making plays for others. I thought our movement off the ball early in the game, created some of those opportunities for Day and Jizzle, and then I thought that kind of permeated throughout the team. There was contributions all over the place tonight. I mean, I thought Dylan defensively really gave us something. He was all over the place. He did a great job in his ball screen defense. Aziz, for the most part, was like a presence in the ball screen, and I thought we did a better job, especially in the second half, of guarding it with all five, not just with two or three. Josh Reed, I'm not just saying it because he's sitting right here with me. That's the best game of his career to date. And as I told him in the locker room, it won't be the best game of his career here soon because it's not a fluke. Like he's been improving, and we've always known he was capable of this. It was great to see it happen out there in a big time college basketball game. So, I thought we had contributions all over the place. Like Josh was fantastic, Dan was fantastic tonight, and I thought he gave us a real lift and energy off the bench. I thought Arrington Page in some limited minutes, which isn't easy, I thought was really positive, and that run there in the second half was really important in those minutes. So with Dylan in foul trouble. So anyway, I could kind of keep going down, but I was obviously pleased with the guys tonight, and they look like the group that we know that they can look like. And again, I thought Day and Jizzle set a real tone early, and Josh, I think, making a couple shots, in that second rotation was really big for us too.
Josh, when you look back on this game, 20 years from now, are you going to remember the 12 points or the two-handed dunk?
Probably the two-handed dunk.
That's the most excited I've seen our bench all year, and Josh dunked it with two. I do want to say one more thing before I take some questions. We had a sellout crowd tonight, and they really brought it for us tonight. And so that's how it is here every night. So it's nothing new, but you always want to recognize that. So there's a lot of appreciation from myself and our team for that.
What's the feeling when you go into at half, you're shooting 63%, somehow losing, and then you still come out and are banging them in?
Well, I thought other than the last 40 seconds of the first half, I thought we played pretty well. That last 40 seconds was frustrating because we're supposed to not take it out quick, because the clock doesn't stop on a miss there. The first half, we have a term for it, and Tyler took it out quick, but we were supposed to remind him because you're right in front of the bench. So we should have had the last shot and should have, kind of killed the 2-for-1 opportunity for them, and we didn't. And then they trap, and we turn it over, and then we foul the 3-point shooter, and he makes it. So that was a tough stretch there. But outside of that, I thought we played really well, and I thought they played well. Like, we made some errors there defensively. We took a couple little small breaks, and they capitalized, but they made some plays now too. They're an elite offensive team, and I thought the level was really high in the first half, and then I thought in the second half we came out and we didn't dwell on the way the half ended. I was proud of that. And then I thought we really made some adjustments defensively, and we didn't have some of those errors and made their shot quality dropped a little bit there to start the second half, and I'll give our defense credit for that.
Jizzle, what was the biggest key to a career high 6 made threes and 24 points season high by a Bearcat this season?
Just making sacrifices, like we talked about earlier this week as a team. Just doing that extra thing, extra stuff, outside of, as a team, just to work on my game, where I could get better at, and I'm just glad it paid off. So,
Coach, you talked about the defense at the end of the second half. What was it like to see, when you've kind of gotten on these guys for the lack of effort, that even with 40 seconds left, they're fully face guarding guys and giving 100% effort with the crowd kind of standing up and applauding them during that moment?
I think that's the expectation our guys have for themselves. I think, they have the expectation to play with that kind of energy and that kind of competitiveness, and they know they're capable of it. I think at times, if it's looked like at any point it hasn't been there, I don't think it's for a lack of want to or try. I think sometimes they've just kind of carried the frustrations of playing in the Big 12 on their shoulders too much, and you can see it in other areas. And I thought this week they've let all that go and just gone and played. And when you do that, you play with a free mind is the term I like to use. You just let it all go and go hoop and do what you do every day. I think you play with more spirit, and I think our team's playing with more spirit. And it's not a fluke, like it's not a one-off. They've been doing it all week in practice and in our last 2 games.
Jizzle, I know the loss was probably more in your mind than the ending, but did the ending of the last BYU game with that 3 that wasn't defended, did that add any extra motivation to tonight?
Definitely.
You know what he's talking about?
Yeah, when they shot it. Yeah, it definitely added some fire in us. We felt disrespected. So we were just glad that we got another chance at them. And just got to even it out. 1-1. So yeah, I don't really try to get into much of the back and forth stuff. But if you disrespect us, we gonna remember that. And if we get a chance to play you again, that's gonna be in our minds. So yeah.
West, 22 points allowed in the paint first half, 6 in the second. What was the biggest difference?
Yeah, I'd like to sit here and tell you guys that I, like John Wooden, and drew up some great defensive strategy at halftime, and that's not the case, guys. That I thought our players just made adjustments. They made adjustments to not taking little breaks. Their pressure picked up. Again, our ball screen coverage, they executed it the way they executed it in practice yesterday, and guys flew around and made some plays. So our guys made some adjustments, and when you play, again, they're a great offensive team. They're a great offensive team. And when you play a half against them, it's different than what you see in practice yesterday with our scout team. They made some plays, and they got us, and we were ready to play. And I thought our guys adjusted to kind of some of the things that were happening out there in the first half. And again, we had a lot of contributions all the way up and down our bench.
Wes, the first time you guys played out in Provo, obviously it was Day and Jizzle on Igor. Tonight it was Dylan Mitchell. Just walk us through that decision there to make that switch and kind of defend Igor with his physicality, being 6'9" as a point guard.
Yeah, Dylan did a terrific job. His ability, Demon's ability to pass the ball in the ball screen is as good as I've seen in college basketball. And because he's 6'9", he can kind of pass over. So they always have guys around him that can really shoot and really attack closeouts, and they have a rolling threat in the ball screen. So he's got the tools around him, and then he makes really good decisions. And I thought we challenged Dylan a little bit to take that matchup on, and I thought Dylan did a really nice job.
Jizzle, the last 2 games
And by the way, Josh did a really nice job too. It wasn't just Dylan. I thought the two. Sorry, buddy, you're sitting here, so I really thought about it. But it wasn't just Dylan. I mean, Dylan's in some foul trouble there, but I thought the 2 guys that we wanted to see him the most were Josh and Dylan, and I thought they did a nice job. And then there was possessions where we get the switch with Seamoss, and he dug in. There was a couple possessions where Jizzle and Day end up on him. So again, he's a terrific player, and I thought our guys did a nice job adjusting from what we learned in game 1.
Jizzle, you got in the flow the last 2 games. When you went back home, did you get any home cooking or something that kind of changed it around for you?
Nah, just, stepping off the plane, getting that Florida air, it was 82 degrees back home, so, it was good to feel. But, yeah, like I say, last 2 games, I don't pick it up personally, but I'm not trying to dwell on it because I know we got more games to go. So, I'm just trying to keep the same focus, and just attention to detail at every game.
Josh, what do you think was the biggest key on the boards tonight? 32-17 rebounding advantage.
Just coming out there and being physical from the start. We knew that they were going to crash hard, so we were working in practice about boxing out weak side, crashing offensive glass. So I think we did that well in practice, and it translated to today.
Keegan and Scott.
Coach, you still have yet to win 3 straight Big 12 regular season games going back to last year. What would getting over that hump and getting that kind of win streak say about where this team is at this point in the year and how much or how far they've come?
Keegan, I didn't know that. And it will only mean something to me because it's the next game and I want to win the next game. my job as our leader is to focus on the things that I can control. Right now, all we can control is our preparation for Utah, or rest tonight, and our preparation for Utah on Tuesday. But when you do that, and neat little streaks and breakthroughs happen, that's great. I haven't thought about it, and that'll be the last time I think about that kind of crap. I just want to try to win the next game.
This league's full of peaks and valleys. How many coaches have called you and said, "Hey, Wes, tell me about this dodgeball thing"?
None, because coaches know that there's no gimmicks and tricks, and I actually didn't want that to even be a media thing or a public thing, because it's, I get it. People love stories and narratives. Like, I get it. I mean, people want to read about stories and narratives, but guys, we're not playing well because we played dodgeball. The only thing dodgeball did was just give us a day to get away from all the stuff that's been going on with not playing well. It just gave us a chance to go be kids, including the coaching staff, and have some fun, and realize that if we play basketball like we're kids having a good time, we'll play better. So, we're not a damn dodgeball team, and I like, stories are cool, and being a part of a team and doing stuff like that's cool, but I'm so sick of hearing about it in media, because it's not about that. These guys are playing better basketball. They're playing confidently. They're playing more together. They're playing more spirited, like we've always known they were capable of, and that, to me, that's the story, not some gimmick on Monday because we needed a little bit of a break.
Josh, you've been known for your defense throughout your career. Just walk us through what it's like now in your junior year, seeing that you might have that number one assignment on the defensive end like you did tonight.
It feels good to know that my coaches trust me, my teammates trust me, taking on the best player every night, and it's also my other teammates helping me, around me, talking to me, helping me on defense, and yeah.
Has it really been just a matter of confidence, seeing things go well in the UCF game, translating it over tonight, where you guys kind of let release kind of the bad energy that had been around? Is confidence kind of the biggest thing?
I wouldn't say confidence. It's just like having fun with it. That's one thing I think at this level we forget, because there's a lot of pressure, outside noise that goes on around. So coach just remind us to have fun. Do what we love since we was kids. And we got the ability to do this at the highest levels. So just taking a moment to realize where we at, where our feet are, and just being blessed to be able to just play college basketball, because a lot of people don't get a chance to do this. So.
Two more, Ryan and Keegan.
Jizzle, Coach Wes entered Dede Thomas into the starting lineup. It seems like you two have really played well together. How much has that helped with the flow of the offense?
I think it helped tremendously. We could both create our own shots and get others going. So, it helps take the pressure off one another. So, I've been glad, that happened, and I just seen like an improvement in our offense, and we just got to keep it going. 2-0 lately, but we not gonna dwell on it. Just on to the next one.
Coach, Josh had those two moments after the second three and then after the dunk where BYU called a timeout and the bench got to come out to him and celebrate with him. What was that like to see for you, just a guy who's kind of been trying to grind and put together a specific role in the rotation, just to have those two moments in a big game?
I just like seeing our guys have fun. As a coach, I love our kids. So, like Jizzle just said, I think at some point we got away from enjoying it, and we all started doing this at one point for nothing other than it brought us so much joy to play this game or coach this game. And so, like, to see our guys have fun and to see them share in Josh's success. That's what a team is about. So I love that. Now, after that, you got to try to settle down and get them to take a couple deep breaths. And I didn't like the way we played after that timeout both times. But I do. I like seeing our guys have fun. And they're good. They're good guys. They care too much sometimes. So it's good to see them back, playing the game the way that we know that they have always been able to play it.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.